We've got a follow-up this morning on an NBC News investigation into artificial turf fields that has a lot of people talking. NBC's Stephanie Gosk is here with some reaction to the report. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning, Willie. You know, we asked people to get in touch with NBC News and share their stories and comments about artificial turf fields, and they have. This issue has hit a nerve with a lot of Americans, including a congressman from New Jersey who is calling on the CDC to do more research. Women's soccer coach Amy Griffin first started asking the question, are the fields safe, when two of her own players were diagnosed with cancer. One of them suspected it may have something to do with the small black dots on the turf, known as crumb rubber, shredded car and truck tires. Now that our viewers have seen Griffin's story, they are sharing their own. Lolly Walker from Colorado reached out to us about her daughter.
We'd always kind of discussed the potential link to the soccer fields. And so a coworker of mine sent me the link yesterday and said, oh my gosh, look at this. And when I read it, I thought, oh wow, this is so close to home.
Faye played soccer since she was 4 and was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma at age 16.
I want more research to be done and figure out what exactly is going on these fields.
A father writes about his son, a former college football player now battling leukemia. I feel sick to my stomach that the artificial turf can have so many chemicals. A cancer survivor from Texas writes that she played soccer on turf at least twice a week her whole life, and she's keeping her kids on the local team. Lessons on the soccer field far outweigh the ifs of the ground they play on. There has been no scientific link established between crumb rubber and cancer. In a statement, the Synthetic Turf Council says, we sympathize with those individuals who are battling a serious illness. Citing numerous studies, the council adds, the preponderance of evidence shows no negative health effects associated with crumb rubber in synthetic turf. NBC News spoke with researchers, advocacy groups, and doctors who say the studies that exist are limited and more research needs to be done. Some of our viewers would like to help. A cancer survivor from Ohio who spent a lot of time on turf writes, I know that sharing my story and adding it to the research will help other athletes in the end. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has also asked that people reach out to them with stories about artificial turf. When we asked the CPSC for an interview in response to our investigation, the agency declined our request, Willie.
And, Steph, we've got some of the synthetic turf right here. So this is basically nothing more than ground-up tires and rubber, right?
That's right.
So
and let me give you first a little bit of history about artificial turf. Back in the 80s, it was basically like carpet on cement, totally unforgiving. And then this popped up, these polyethylene fibers like grass, and this infill, which is what we've been talking about this week, ground-up tires, car and truck tires, actual rubber. It simulates the give that an actual field would have. And for athletes, it was this incredible revolution in artificial turf. And what you can tell just by touching it, as you did just there, it comes up very easily. Yeah, so when a ball hits it, when an athlete hits it, boom, you can see a little cloud of it.
If you watch an NFL game this Sunday, you'll see the slow-motion replays. When a player hits the ground, it is a spray of this rubber that comes up.
Absolutely look for it. But also know that there are other options for the infill, and some of the NFL fields have this non-toxic substitute, which is far more expensive, but an option for the same kind of thing.
Fascinating stuff. Stephanie, thanks so much. I know you'll stay on this story for us. Let's